What's going on, guys? It's Bryce again. Welcome to another episode of the Expedition to Try podcast. I have no idea what I'm doing with my life. I'm assuming a lot of you don't either. So let's try and figure it out together. We got a big month ahead. We got 4 episodes, but 3 people. And you might be asking, how the hell's that going to work, Bryce? 3 people for 4 episodes? What, are you going to redo a
We're gonna
person?
split someone in half?
No. We're starting our first band is going to be on the show, but we're going to do them individually. So we're here with the coolest member of the band, the Kings of
No,
Nothing.
Zach is on the next episode.
Oh, sorry, I got confused. No, Dan's next, then Zach. Okay. The coolest member of the Kings of Nothing is here today. uh,
He's gonna say that for every episode.
you've seen him before if you're a fan of the show, which I'm sure none of you are. This is Brandon Porter. So, Brandon, just in case no one has met you before, why don't you go ahead and introduce yourself?
I'm Brandon.
There it is.
Wait, are we doing video too? Can they see we're wearing the same sweatshirt?
They should be able to. Well, the podcast, you won't be able to tell, but yes, Brandon and I are wearing classic ETT sweatshirts, both navy blue bleached. So we're looking badass. You're missing out if you're not watching us.
Yeah. Finish listening, and then get on the internet. Get on YouTube.
So we're switching up the format of this episode because the podcast is growing. So Brandon's been on before a couple times. The first couple times we're talking about his life, stuff we're confused about, but now the podcast is going into talking about specifically music, art, entrepreneurship, shit like that. So Brandon is a musician. Whether he thinks he's good or bad, that's up to your discretion. I think he's rad as hell. I think the whole band is. But Brandon, can you just say a little about the band and just start with
Yeah,
a little generic information about the band.
I am sorry too. I didn't actually introduce myself. I was Bryce's roommate in college, and we've lived together for many years. Not anymore, but in college. That's why I know Bryce. Yes, the band is called the Kings of Nothing. Um, it was started by Zach and I in like going into ninth grade, I think, back in like 2010 or something like that.
Jesus. 11
But I
years
mean,
ago.
obviously, we haven't really done much until more recently,
Yeah.
So kind of. But yes, so it's me and Zach, and then we got Dan involved around like 11th grade. And it wasn't, like we did stuff, like me and Zach tried writing songs and recording ourselves and stuff in a kind of a bootleg way. And then, but it wasn't really till like college that we really started really doing stuff with Dan and like a full band. So, yeah.
I can't wait to see how the interview with all 3 of you goes because I don't know what questions I'm going to ask yet. I haven't prepared.
Are you gonna do like the same ones for each of us or different ones?
I'm going to ask each of you very similar questions just about
Mm.
yourself.
Oh,
And
okay.
then the band will be focused on like more band stuff,
Yeah.
stories and experiences and stuff like that. So let's get
Well,
started off with you and music. We're going all the way back. What's your first memory of music?
first memory. Um, I don't know, it's probably something like sing along in preschool or something. Actually, didn't I listen to a lot of as a kid? We had like these Disney soundtracks, and it each came in a different color. Do you know what I'm talking about? I feel like a lot of people have them growing up.
Different colors.
And it's like there was like the red Disney CD and the green Disney CD and the blue
I didn't
Disney
have
CD.
those.
It was just like a bunch of different songs. I listened to those a lot as a kid. I would listen to music like going to bed, I think. Like as I was falling asleep. And also I remember like a lot of like the stuff my parents would play for me. Like and I got like musical influence from that, I guess. But it wasn't until like uh I don't know, maybe middle school that I got more into music. Probably because of like skateboarding and stuff. Like actual interest in music. I kind of just like whatever, listened to it. I actually had an iPod for a while, like barely used it. And then I was like, I got into music, so thank God I have an iPod. you know?
Well, why don't
Yeah.
you explain your iPod First of all, tell a story with your
I
iPod.
have it. It's over there. Um, so I had an iPod. What is it? Nano, the thin ones.
I
Shuffle.
think the
Not
Nano's that
Nano.
really tiny one.
Not Shuffle. I think.
Oh, fuck those.
Right? I don't
I
know.
think
I had
so.
the thin one back in the day, and then I got a classic, the fat one, because I
Mhm.
got really into music, like I said. And I would listen to music like all the time at a certain point. Like high school, it was like I think I counted once. It was like 5 or 6 albums a day. Because like I would listen to one on the bus ride to school, bus ride home from school, like at least maybe one throughout, just like listening in the hallways between class. If I had like a study hall, then um, and then like before going to bed or something, I'd listen to another one. So
Jesus.
I'd be like 5 or 6 albums a day, which is weird when I think about it now. But so I got a 160 gig iPod Classic when iPods were the thing, so it's to hold all the music I was getting. Um, And I got really into buying like CDs too. Me and Zach did. I'm sure you'll talk to Zach about this, but we basically would like go CD shopping at like a record store or FYE or something, whatever wherever we could get them, and then we'd like get CDs like maybe like four each or something, and then swap basically. So you get like double the collection like just right then and there. Um, so I ended up having I think I had like 10,000 songs on my iTunes or something,
Jesus Christ.
something crazy like that. And like and honestly like I don't want to incriminate myself. Like, pretty much all of it's legitly purchased, just like trading with Zach. You know what I mean? It's like you buy half that's 5,000.
Yeah.
Yeah, I would ask for iTunes gift cards for Christmas and stuff, and my birthday, and like I just would listen to music like all the time. So, yeah.
So I th a
Oh,
couple
and I
questions for that.
only
Oh
recently
yeah.
had to get Spotify because my new car uh doesn't have a port for an aux cord or anything. It's only Bluetooth. It's like, damn it. But I'm actually enjoying Spotify now. Yeah.
I feel like didn't you say your main qualm with Spotify is when we were driving in the car, you wanted to choose the music, you didn't want someone else messing around with it? That's why you like
That
the
was
iPod a lot?
well, that was just another. I liked my iPod was all organized and like had all my stuff on there. I felt like I could actually own the stuff.
Yeah.
Um, but I did enjoy the fact that it's like, yo, let me get the aux cord. And it's just like, sorry, dude, it's only anything on my iPod. There's no other way to plug it in. It was great.
Um, so I thought of a couple questions just from that story. How much money do you think you used buying all those songs? Not necessarily your own money because you did get gift cards and
Well, that's
like
the thing.
say
Often I
including
didn't.
Zach's albums and stuff.
Yeah, like often it wasn't my money. Like I would have get a gift cards for Christmas and they would like last me a while. Because think about it, like I was just like, what do you want for Christmas, Brandon? She's like, I don't know, iTunes gift cards or Amazon gift cards to order CDs. And it was just like one's like an aunt and uncle got me it, and another aunt and uncle, then my parents, and like my cousin. Like it was just like a lot. Um, I really don't know, but it's like a lot of it wasn't my money because it was like gifted
Yeah.
or like half of it like was traded with Zach. So it was just like I don't. It
What
was a lot though, probably.
you
But
think
let's do
that
the math,
a
right?
yeah, I
Like
was gonna say
nine.
the average is probably like what, $100, $150 a
Well,
year?
often I buy often an album's like $10. So like yeah, I don't know. Yeah, but like 10 albums a year, like that's kind of a low sounding
It's
for what I
obviously in
would
the
get.
thousands.
Yeah,
My word.
Steve Jobs owes me, dude.
It's you single-handedly kept
Supported it.
kept Apple alive.
Yeah. But I mean, I guess
Uh,
we would also buy it off of like not just iTunes, but like you go to stores. Like I said, we get
CDs and stuff.
CDs or
Yeah.
like off of like bands' websites and stuff.
Mhm.
Support your local artists.
So,
Support musicians.
what were the songs, albums, and genres you listened to back in middle school when you started getting into that kind of music with your iPod?
So I remember actually I remember some I distinctly remember some. I have a weird distinct memory of like being on the bus ride and actually in like fifth grade, like right when I'm on the cusp of like getting into music. And I think it was of course Green Day's Boulevard of Broken Dreams. I think it was Boulevard of Broken Dreams. It was something on the American Idiot album. And like I remember going into school and like saying like, "Ah, I got this like song stuck in my head." And my one friend was like, "Oh, that's Green Day. Green Day's awesome." I'm like, "Oh, cool." And I would like look up Green Day. I also remember like I said, getting into skateboarding and like that was kind of a big thing because I had like friends who skateboarded, and they'd be like, "Oh, you should check out like this music because it's in the skate video or whatever,"
Mm.
right? And it was like I remember like one friend in elementary school even giving me some 41's Underclass Hero, and I think it was like All American Rejects like Move Along album. And like
Mm.
I was like, oh, they're fine. And then like later I realized like, oh, those are great albums. Like I didn't even realize it at the time. When I started getting into music myself, Green Day was like the gateway band. Still probably my favorite. Green Day. Um, and then I remember actually a big factor too was YouTube because I would like look up a music video or a song and then it'd be the recommended, just like, oh, you like Green Day, check out like the music video for Feeling This by Blink-182 or Bowling for Soup or Simple Plan or something. I started like getting into that kind of stuff. And it kind of just grew from there, that kind of like that pop punk sound, to getting into like more like punk oriented stuff. No Effects was a big one. That really kind of set that off because they're like one of the biggest independent punk bands ever. Maybe independent bands ever. And then just kind of like steamrolled into like other subgenres like ska and maybe more folk punk, very punk and rock oriented. But then and even now as I've gotten older, it's just like I like other stuff like alternative and some rap and hip hop and uh, you know oldies. Like I like doo wop. Like I don't know, I just kind of go all over the place now. But it's mostly like punk and rock oriented, I'd say.
What what was your first concert and when was it?
First concert. Well, I probably went to like stuff my parents dragged me to when I was younger, but I don't
Yeah,
really remember much of that.
not the Kinks. I know that.
Yeah, how dare my mother not take me when I wasn't even born? I'd go to the Kinks. First like actual concert that I like chose and wanted to go to was Green Day actually. A
Oh,
common theme here. I remember that I went to see Green Day. Um, I think it was on their like 21st Century Breakdown tour. I think it was like 2009 or something like that. It's like middle school I was. And I remember I saw them, and then like on one leg of the tour they came back, kind of like in the similar area or whatever, in like Connecticut or something. And so I saw them. I got to see them again. I like not. It was like a year later, but I was after like the worldwide tour, like they were coming back. And I saw them again, and I distinctly remember after the second show, like walking out of the arena and being like, "Hey, mom and dad, can I take guitar lessons? That would be awesome."
oh.
And they're like, "Yeah, sure," and I did. So, so Green Day was probably the first one. Hey, ask Zach about this. First concert we saw together. Guess what it was?
Um,
You'll never get it.
Barney.
No, no, no. It was later, but
I feel like you have told me this before.
it's a
Uh,
funny answer.
is it like a country artist?
Not country, but
I don't remember what
pop
it is.
maybe. We were
Ah,
on vacation. Zach came with my family on vacation, and we went to Train and Maroon 5.
oh, nothing wrong with that. Nothing
Very
wrong.
punk rock.
I've been to Train, not Maroon 5. My first concert was the Jonas Brothers. I don't remember
Hmm.
what year. It was a long time ago. They were at Darien Lake, and I was like hyped to go, but I was at the age where I was really embarrassed to be like, I like the Jonas Brothers.
Like
So
you had the Jonas Brothers T-shirt under your hoodie, like looking over.
literally, no, I literally I made my I made my own t-shirt with puffy
Nate.
paint. Yeah, and
Wow.
it said I'm not here for the Jonas Brothers. I'm just here to meet Frankie, their
Is that the
younger
youngest
brother.
one?
Yeah. And I was so embarrassed even of that shirt that I wore a sweatshirt the entire day, and it was hot. It was really hot outside, but I refused to take it
Damn.
off because I was so embarrassed. I
Wow.
for the
Not a
longest
true
time
fan.
for the longest time too, I told people my first concert was Bon Jovi because that was my second
It was
concert.
Slayer. Like,
It's just some really
oh, that
cool
was your
hard
second
rock.
concert.
Yeah, so I used to tell
That's kind of
people that.
cool.
Yeah, Bon
That's really
Jovi was
funny.
cool. Um, so what genre would you say that TKON falls into most often?
I would say I'd probably say punk, but like it's one of those things where it's like you call yourself punk, you're not punk, kind of stupid shit, right? Um, I always joke for a while. Me and Zach joked we're like we're punk rock, like we're not just punk rock, we're punk and rock, punk rock. So it's like it's punk, I'd say, or pop punk, or just sometimes we do more straight up rock stuff. But I'd say on the poppy punk end, pop punk.
So how
Sure.
did you end up falling into that genre and like choosing that? Was that a decision between you and Zach, or like how did that come about?
No, I think it was just like what you're influenced by. You know what I mean? It's like kind of same way. It's like, why do you like this artist? It's like, well, because I like that other artist that sounded like them. You know what I mean? It's kind of like I think just what we were listening to ended up being kind of the music we made because that's what we knew. You know what I mean? It's like kind of hard if you've never listened to like hip hop to just make a hip hop album. You know what I mean? It's just like the influences we were listening to. I think.
Who do you think are some of your personal inspirations in like bands or artists you aspire to be like?
Have I mentioned the band Green Day on here yet?
I don't
No, I'm
think
just
so.
kidding.
I've never
Um,
even heard of them.
I think I think that was the big crossover for me and Zach too. Zach's a big Green Day fan. And like that's kind of I don't know, just like maybe the look and the feel of their songs and like I don't know. Green Day was a big one, I think, in terms of just I don't even know how to word this. You know what it is? I think they were a good example, like a gateway band kind of thing, because it was one of those earlier bands where like people say this about punk rock all the time, but like a big thing for me was like seeing something and feeling like I could do it, like emulate it. Like you watch like Zeppelin, a video, and it's just like I can't fucking do that. That guy's like a fucking god, right? And it's just like but it's like oh, this is like Green Day song's really good. It's really catchy. It's really enjoyable. It's singing about stuff that like I care about, and like how I've felt before. And it's like 3 chords. I know 3 chords. It's like I can do that. So Green Day was a big one. I think about it now sometimes too, but early on especially, Nirvana was a big one because I got into Nirvana too, and they're very similar. Where it's just like you kind of just there's something in the punk rock scene, Bryce. I'll teach you something called DIY, do it yourself. So all that kind of like I just in case,
I didn't know.
for the fans at home.
DIY stands for do it yourself. I'll write that down. Write that
Write it down,
down.
write that down. But like stuff like that, like bands that kind of just like Nirvana was just like, yeah, we just did it. You know what I mean? It's just like, oh, that's cool. Like that kind of
I
got
just
me
want to
into
do
stuff.
it.
Yeah, like it made it feel like feasible. You know what I mean? And also I think a big one for me too, which kind of dawned on me like later is like the Who. My dad was really into the Who, but yeah, the Who was a big one. Just the way they I don't know, it's just like the classic like rock band setup. Yeah, and the guitar, bass, drum, singer. And like hearing stories, like seeing documentaries when I was a kid that my dad would watch of like how they constructed songs and ideas and like whether it was a like rock opera, so they're like the ones who did like the first one of the first rock operas, like I don't know, and there's the same thing too. Like some of their songs are just like 3 chords, and it's just like oh man, that's awesome, and the energy of it, and like I think those are some of the big early ones. Uh, are we just asking for early, or should I talk about like now too?
Yeah, because you can go into like, who do you currently aspire to be
Yeah.
like, if
Well, it's
anybody?
it's, it's interesting because I can almost like it's almost like how there's like waves of like time, like of when I got influenced. It was like Green Day, Nirvana, The Who, like some stuff by my parents like early on. Then, like I said, NoFX is a big one. It was like NoFX, a lot more like punk, just like straight up punk bands. Like NoFX was a big one for me. Alkaline Trio,
Hell yeah,
right behind you on the wall.
there it is.
Uh, like Against Me. Just like it really opened my eyes to like maybe more aggressive stuff and I don't know, just like the punk rock sound in general. Those are the ones that come to mind. And then like more recently, I feel like, or then it was like maybe more like folk punk,
Mhm.
I guess, like they kind of
Like
infused like
Frank,
more acoustic. Like Frank Turner is a
yeah.
huge one. The
I
Smith
call
Street
him
Band,
Frank like I know
like
him.
Frank,
Oh, you like Frank?
Frank. Yeah, like Frank Turner's a big one. The Smith Street Band's a big one. Just like new styles of songwriting was like, oh, I didn't really know you could do that. You know what I mean? Like
Mm.
it was kind of cool. And then more recently, I feel like it's bands and Smith Street Band's probably the reason for this because I think that's like some of the best lyrics I've ever heard. That's lyricist Will Wagner of the Smith Street Band.
Mhm.
That kind of got me into stuff now, like just stuff that like with lyrics that really kind of like hit me, I think. Like the Menzingers is a big one. Joyce Manor has been a big recent one. Um, like I had another one I was gonna say, but those are some big ones right now. Joyce Manor and Menzingers. Um,
Kenny
and
Hoopla.
wow, yeah, Kenny Hoople's rad. Actually, more recently, especially with the punk sound, is I've just gotten into like Pup. I don't know if you've talked about Pup before. Um, they're cool, but yeah, it's just kind of like then it's kind of like one thing connects to the next thing. Like maybe because of Green Day, I got into NoFX, and because of NoFX, I got into the this band because of this band. It just keeps going. It's cool.
I just
Neat
I
to think about.
have two things comments on those.
All those
One
bands suck,
with
and
with the Smith Street Band. I've never really listened to them,
oh,
but
listen out.
there's a song that keeps showing up on like my Spotify, like they make playlists for you basically. And
Oh,
there's a
really?
song, and now I can't think of what it's called. Obviously, I just know the first line is like, "The people in the apartment across the street are literally and
And
figuratively looking down on
metaphorically
me."
looking
Yeah,
down on me, tangled in tenderness. Why do I have to live like this? I was tempted by your company. You already noticed me. Passiona is the name of the song, Chris. If I got that wrong, that'd be bad. Wait a second.
that'd be so embarrassing.
Passiona, Smith
It's
Street
no,
Band.
it's something completely
Oh, thank
different.
God. It is. It is. Passiona. Yeah, good song.
Yeah, that song keeps. I know I would like them because like I never really listened to Frank Turner either beforehand, but then you started showing me songs by him and I like them or like him. So I don't think I would mind the Smith Street Band. It's just not what I
Swiss.
normally listen.
Yeah.
Swish Street.
I, yeah, I think yeah, it's one of those things too. It's like I feel like you need I'd say like you need an influence before you hear it, but like I think it's almost one of those things where it's like if you don't usually listen to that kind of music, maybe that's not going to be
Yeah.
your thing for right off the bat. But if you listen to like some other artist, then another artist, another like actually weird that you said that because Frank Turner is the reason why I got into the Smith Street Band because I kind of knew of Frank Turner. He like came up in the punk scene and then started doing solo stuff and got more like acousticy and stuff, more folky. But like I had heard of him, I kind of knew of him. Same with Zach. So we planned to go to a concert here of Frank Turner, and first mosh pit at that show. Very cool, first mosh pit ever. And the Smith Street Band were the openers, and we were watching. We are like, wow, this is like pretty good, and they were like super into it, and it was great.
Yeah.
And hopefully Zach doesn't tell the same story, so you're not
I'll
repeating
cut him
content. But
off.
yeah, oh, don't talk about that. But we went up to the booth after the merch table, and we're like, oh, like Zach's like, oh, can I get a CD like from this mystery band? And we're like, how much? He's like, oh, that's like one's for this much money. He's like, or you can get four for $20. Like all four of these for $20, and we're like, okay. And so Zach did it, and I did it for the same four CDs, and like it just like it's like explosion. It's like I like realize how good it was when I finally listened to it. Yeah.
The other comment I was gonna make is I just remembered my freshman year of college when we were roommates and I wasn't into this kind of music yet. I was into like the stuff on the radio, pop and stuff, because it was
Mhm.
like just in country because it's all we listened to. And I just remember you being like, "Okay, Bryce, who's this?" And I'd be like, "That's Tom DeLonge." And you'd be like, "Yeah, all right, who's this?" I'm like,
Oh, my posters. Yeah,
yeah, I'm like,
yeah.
"Mike," and you go, "It sounds like a bass guitar," and I go, "Mike Dirnt," and
Yeah, like yes,
you're like,
that's the one.
there you go," and you would just, like, quiz me on the
Yeah,
fucking posters on your wall because it
that's where we
was
came up with our inside
Blink-182,
joke of
Smith Street, and, Green
yeah,
Day.
yeah. That was all, yeah. And then I had my we had our inside joke of, yo, was this Rise?
Yeah.
For Rise Against?
I remember too the one day we were walking to the dining hall or something, and just randomly I go, um I started singing Alkaline
Oh,
Trio, and you're like,
Torture
"Yo,
Doctor.
are you singing Torture Doctor by Alkaline?" I'm
It was
like,
like it was the
Yeah,
hey,
I am,
uh,
yeah." And that's how I started getting into them. Yeah,
yeah.
like,
I
our
remember we
group
played that album a lot too. My
our
Shame Is
group of
True.
friends, like, built my current music interest a lot. Like, cause I didn't like any of this shit. I didn't even listen to like rap or anything like that. I listened to Eminem and stuff a little bit, but like, and now it's grown to such a eclectic music taste, I would say.
Yeah, for
Some people
sure.
might disagree.
It was cool that our friend group at school, like we would trade music and artists, and you know what I mean. Like Matt would show us like a hip hop artist, and like, oh, that's really cool, and then we like show him a rock artist or something. And we all kind of like similar things and different things, so it was like good mix and match. Like Billy, Matt, me, Andy, like just kind of mix and match. It was cool.
Mhm. So going back to when you first started taking guitar lessons after
Oh
Green
wait,
Day.
sorry, I
Oh,
just
go
thought of
ahead.
something funny. I don't mean to cut you off. Just talking about college trends and music. I have a distinct memory too. It just came to me. Like first week, uh, our friend Matt was on my floor freshman year, and he was playing like Blink-182, like just
Oh
out of
yeah,
speakers in his room. And I remember texting Zach. I'm like, dude, some guy on my floor is playing Blink. Like that's awesome. Like I just expected people to like, I feel like in high school everyone just listens to top 40 or whatever.
yeah.
You know what I mean? It's just like.
That's exactly what
Meanwhile,
I
me and Zach were at school. Like we listened to some artists. We were probably the only two people in the school that would listen to certain artists. And I was like, "Oh my god, this guy's playing Blink!" And then like, I talked to Matt, and like it was great. So,
did. Shout out to Matt.
shout out to Matt.
Matt's on Spotify. Forts,
Yep.
Fauxerts. Um, so going back to taking guitar lessons after the Green Day show, what um do you think it was kind of intuitive to you? Did you pick it up pretty quickly? Did you fail a lot? Like how did those lessons go? How long did you even take the lessons before you
I
started doing
took
it yourself?
lesson. Yeah, I took lessons. So it was like this was going into ninth grade. I started taking guitar lessons. Um, I think I took them for only about maybe like 3 years. I think by senior year I wasn't taking them anymore.
Hmm.
I want to say. Can't really remember. I don't know if
I
it was really intuitive per se,
yeah.
but I think it was nothing about my skill level. I think, but I think because I started listening to so much music and got so into it, it was just like on my mind all the time. So it's almost like it's almost like practicing without practicing. You know what I mean? Because I was just thinking about music or listening to music all the time. And that helped. And I actually think I wrote songs before I started playing guitar.
Hmm.
Like a couple, just like because they came to me, kind of thing. That's not to make me sound like brilliant or anything. They're kind of like whatever songs, but it was just kind of like, oh, like I have an idea, like I should write that down, kind of thing. Then I started playing guitar, and it's just like, you get that like that dream of like being the rock star or some crap like that, and it's like, you're like, that's why I'm like, oh, I better write this down, like, and I'll start playing guitar, it'll be great, like, so I wouldn't say it was intuitive, but I think it just helped that I was got so into music, like to a huge extent that it kind of like I would play a lot, and me and Zach would hang out and we'd just play, and like even now, like me and Zach get together and we'll just talk about music for hours. Like the conversation doesn't always change much, and like I don't know, I think my brain was just so much on it that it helped maybe um me playing it, and also a lot of the stuff I was trying to play, like punk songs, like I said, they're 3 or 4 chords, they're just kind of chords, they're not super crazy solos or anything all the time. So I was kind of like it got to a point where my teacher, who was a really cool guy, uh, he like was kind of to a point where he's like, yeah, like you can pretty much just you know how to look up what's called tabs, where it just shows you where to put your fingers, and just like you know how to look it up, like you pretty much teach yourself now, like you're probably good. I'm like, okay, cool. So I kind of just and then kind of like that from here on out, where it's just like, oh, I want to learn a song, I look it up, I try to figure it out.
I just imagine he was like, the internet's taking my job. You could just look it up.
No, yeah. No,
Just
he
you
was a really cool guy.
don't even bother coming in anymore. Just look it up
Yeah.
online.
No, he was a really cool guy. He was into like similar music and stuff. It was really cool. Can I say his name on here? Should I? Should I know?
Is he alive still?
Yeah, it's Matt Olmsted. Good dude. Another Matt.
Another
I
Matt.
think he did like he was on like America's Got Talent or something with like
What?
acapella and like he got to like semifinals or
What
something.
the heck?
Yeah.
I'm
And
gonna
now
have
he
to
does, I
look that
think,
up.
yeah, I can send you a link. Now he does I think he runs like trivia nights and stuff. Pretty cool guy.
Interesting. In
Yeah, he was a cool
Albany?
dude. Yeah, I think so, locally. He's a cool
Let's
guy. Every once in a while he'll comment on like a Facebook post or
let's
something.
find him. I want to meet him.
I think.
You created TKON single-handedly.
Oh my god. Well, it's funny. Zach actually took lessons at the same. It's not a school per
Yeah,
se. It's like a lessons music lesson company or whatever. I think it was
yeah.
called Katie C A like it's like Caddy or Katie. I think like Kady or Cady or something like that. School of Music or something. It was just like a place you could go and they had like rooms you could take lessons in them and stuff like that. So it's pretty cool. Yeah.
Um, how how often do you make mistakes in writing or playing music?
You know the answer to this one, Bryce. Um, playing all the time. It's where our punkness comes from. No, but it is one of those things. Another cool thing though about like punk rock is like you see these like so many like pop stars like who dance and like maybe lip sync a little or have backing vocals go, and it's just like it seems so perfect. You know what I mean? It's just like when I see punk rock bands, they're just like they're fucking up and like stuff breaks. They're just like whatever. They're drunk on stage. It's awesome. Like it doesn't matter. So like yeah, like it's not like we try to mess up. We try to be tight as a band. But if we mess up, that's the coolest part. It's like it doesn't matter. Like it's kind of more about like just as long as you don't suck. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
Like as long as you can like get through the song. Not you want to mess up as little as possible. But the coolest thing is that if you mess up, it's fine. What do you mean in terms of writing though?
Um, like how many, I
Like
guess,
do I regret stuff I've
songs
written?
like how many songs have you written that are just like they will never be shown, like stuff
Oh,
like that, I guess.
oh, I see. I keep well, I kind of like jot stuff down on my phone all the time, but I keep like notebooks of just stuff. It always sucks. I write stuff on my phone because I like think of something like
Mhm.
wherever I am, and then I have to always like transfer it, and I always wait too long, so it's like a whole fucking thing of like stuff. But I can actually show you if we're doing video. Okay, so like this is like all my song stuff.
Oh
There's kind
Jesus.
of a lot. So like so some of the folders are old albums, and I would like rip out the songs from the notebooks and just organize them so we'd have like what we're doing kind of thing
Yeah.
and like just keep notes in there. But all the these are more than notebooks. Uh these three notebooks. And it's just like full of just some are ideas that were finished, and then other ones are just like some of them are like, finished or like ideas. Usually if I put a star, it's like actually a good idea, I think. I have a thing too. I don't know if this is the answer you're looking for, but I have a thing I do on my phone just says phone notes. Like if I think of a whole verse or something, I'll put it in its own note on a phone. If it's just like a line or a word, I put it in phone notes, just like separate them out. And so I don't know what to do with them, so I just write phone notes and just like and it's like and those are like excessively like so I have there's quite a lot that we haven't used
Yeah.
obviously, because I'll never use it. But I feel like I've heard artists talk about this before. Like, I think it's important just to like write it down so you don't lose it. It's just like, oh, that's good. I'll come back to it later. And it's like maybe you won't. So I think it's good to just write it down. So I try to just do that whenever I can. Thank God we have phones now that can just do it.
Yeah.
But at the same time too, I say that and like 9 times out of 10, the ones you come back to or actually end up like completing and recording and stuff are the ones you like remember that you don't
Yeah.
didn't really need to write down. So, but it does help. There has been times I like you'll collage like lines together to make a song. Or like, oh, I have an idea. I think that could work. I don't want to go too off topic with the question, but like lots of times the writing process, like Zach will come up with a riff on guitar. And I think I have something that could go over that, and like I pull it out of the notebook or whatever. So, yeah, there's quite a bit that will never see the light of day. It's more just like writing to get your thoughts down. Because sometimes
Yeah.
that leads to other better ideas, and you like change stuff. So
Do
there's quite
you
a lot that will not see the light of day.
do you write your
Thank God.
lyrics like more poetically, or do you tend to write them how you speak in normal like cadence?
Um, I think an interesting question. I think it's very poetic. No, I think for me, yeah, I think I found, especially as I've gotten like into some of the more later bands I've gotten into, the music I personally like the best, and like the lyrics I like the best, is more poetic and a little more. I didn't even mention the Lawrence Arms. Maybe that's the one I was thinking of. That
No,
really, those guys hit me.
oh no, you said
Sorry.
Joyce Manor. Yeah,
Yeah, I said Joyce. That's probably the third band I was thinking of. So I
yeah,
got really into them. Sorry. Anyway, yeah, the music I've gotten into now is a little more poetic, a little more like. I've always found my favorite stuff. It's like so specific, it's vague. If that makes sense. You know what I mean? And like weirdly, I relate to that more. Where it's like, oh, I can remember a weirdly specific thing that happened to me this day, or whatever. You know what I mean? Like, I think I don't love the music where it's like I walked to the store and then I went up to the guy and I said this to, and it's like like too literal for me.
yeah.
So I think the poetic stuff is better, where it's almost like snapshots of specifics. I think, but so I try to do that. I don't know if I achieve it always, but that's what I've tried to do as I've gotten older. I think my our older stuff has been uh was a little more literal, maybe. Um, but I've tried to get a little more poetic, um, but not just like random, like coherent
Hmm.
but poetic as you keep going. I think that's just the stuff I like best.
So, what are some of your short-term goals for your music journey? Not necessarily with the band. We can go more into that when the three of you are
Hmm.
on, like personal goals with your music. Or you can
World
talk about the band, honest. World
domination.
domination.
No, I think for and I don't really separate the two,
Yeah.
honestly, because like whenever I write, like I don't even think like this could be for something else. Like most of the time, it's just like this is just or it's all TKON songs, like
Yeah.
um I think for me, like I mean when I was younger, I'd love to make a career out of it. You know what I mean? But I'm at a point too where it's like I don't know if that's always feasible. It'd be cool, but it's like, but I don't. Your life just takes different paths. And also, like I've kind of made the realizations as I got older of like, it'd be awesome to like tour. To have to do that all the time for my sole source of income, mm, maybe not as comfortable, right? Not as cool. But
Yeah.
yeah, I don't know. I think for me, like my goals are just like, I mean, almost everything we do with TCon is just for kind of for us, selfishly, and like just to have fun. It's almost like if no one's gonna hear this, like I'm still gonna write songs, and I'm
Hmm.
still gonna want to play music with my friends. And I know every band says that, but I feel like it's kind of like I don't know, like if I think it's the wrong reason to try to like just get successful personally. You know what I mean? It'd be awesome if we were, but like I don't know. I think I don't know. I'm not cool enough to be like just like writing hits and stuff. You know what I mean? Like I don't know. It's just I'd be fronting too much if I tried to do that. So like our goals are always kind of just like fun. It's just fun to write music. It's fun to play with your friends. It's fun to um, play music with your friends. It's fun to like record and like go through that whole process and like house parties have been awesome like throughout college. Like, that was so fun.
Yeah.
So I think my goal is like anything we do uh, is mostly just to kind of keep doing it. I guess you know what I mean.
Yeah.
It's like I hope I can come up with more songs so we can keep playing songs together and playing shows and writing together. I hope we keep booking more shows. Not to like you know it always kind of feeds back selfishly, right? It's like I hope we get more fans, so more people come see us, so we can just do more shows. Like it's like it's not so we can make money or just like get big because who knows if that would ever happen. But it's
Yeah.
more for us, I think, more just to keep doing it. That's kind of my goal. And then I guess also the other half of your question, like personally more, um, I think I don't know. I kind of writing is very cathartic. I know a lot of people say that too. It's just like therapy in a way. But I think that's the thing too. It's like I lots of times writing can be a way to just get your thoughts down and
Hmm.
feelings down in a way that's like creative too and kind of fun. So it's like I think personally my only goal is just trying to like just keep doing it and kind of like I said, keep getting better in a way I think is better. Like I want to write songs that I would listen to and be like, oh, that's a cool song. You know what I mean? Like, or that's a cool line, and just keep doing that with my own kind of writing. I guess. I don't
I
know if that
think it
makes sense.
is. I think it's more important um, to
To
produce
make the
things for
moolah.
yourself. Yeah, no,
Yeah.
because that's what I've kind of always done with my like say blogs and YouTube videos. I'm doing it more for myself. Like when
Yeah.
I write the day-to-day blogs, I'm writing to myself. Like So if I ever look back,
And
I'd
you
be
would do
like,
that anyway in your
that's
when
what
you
I'm
journal and stuff.
yeah, like I'm fucking this up. Like I'm being too anxious about this or whatever. So I write about it and it's like, listen, you don't have to feel like this. Like you can do this. So like I write it and like say you. I don't say like we anymore. Like I'm switching
Mhm.
more into just talking to myself because I think it is better to create stuff that you like because as soon as you start going and making things for other people, then you will probably start losing interest and you won't want to do it anymore because you're not creating what you
Yeah.
want to create necessarily.
And to me too, to that point, like I feel like that's when you make the best stuff. You know what I
Yeah.
mean? Like if I was trying to make a song that sounded a certain way, because I think people would like it, I feel like it'd
Yeah.
be a crappy song. You know what I mean? Like, but if it's just like something that me, Zach, and Dan are like, oh, that's a sick part, like
Yeah.
that ends up being better stuff. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
You know,
Um, do you think there I think I've asked you this before, but do you think there is um like a turning point for you like if you reach this specific spot in your music career, you would decide to like actually do it full time? Do you think there would
mm,
ever be a point where you would do that?
I never
And what would
really
that
thought
look like?
about. Yeah, I never really thought about that to be honest. I guess there. I mean, I guess there hypothetically could be. You know what I mean? I just don't really know what that would look like. Especially nowadays too, because like success is so fleeting for even really popular people. Um,
Mhm.
which I think like the kind of music we play, uh, you know, and how we go about playing music and booking shows and stuff like that probably wouldn't happen to us anyway. I don't think. I don't think it'd be like the YouTube discovery or viral online kind of thing. I think it's more going to be like just grow a fan base kind of thing. Hopefully.
Yeah.
Um, I don't know. I think it's one of those. It's kind of hard to say. The way I'm thinking about it now is like, so I teach, and Zach also teaches. Funnily enough, so we've always kind of joked like, ah, it's perfect. Like we'll have summers to like do music stuff, like as we grow up, like it's great. Um, I guess I could see it like hypothetically, like I have no idea. But
Mhm.
if we got to a point where we got a big enough fan base, especially because like a lot of times with bands, it's kind of the way it works. Like you play shows locally, grow a fan base here, and then you can maybe move out a little further where people have heard of you a little bit, and like you just keep growing, right? So maybe if it got to a point where like I've never done like an actual tour, it'd be really cool to do that. Um, even if like during the summer, like we're doing like a summer tour, like a month long tour, a couple weeks, right? Like if that just kept growing to the point where it's like we could keep going, you know what I mean, and like be successful and make money and well, not make money, you know what I mean, but like or survive, I guess is what I'm saying, like off
Yeah.
what of doing. Like if I didn't need the a job,
Yeah.
like I guess it'd be something to consider then for sure. Though I do like the profession I went into,
Yeah.
but I think hypothetically that would have to be it. Like if it got to a point kind of naturally where it was like oh wait, we can do this. You know what I mean? It'd have to be something like that. But
So what kind
yeah,
of advice would you give to younger you? You can go back as far as you want.
don't bother.
Don't even don't go to Green Day.
Don't touch the guitar. Don't listen to music.
You don't need it.
Get involved with stocks. we're sorry, I cut you off. What'd you say? Younger me?
No, that was my old question.
Oh,
What
okay.
kind of advice would you give to younger you? No matter what age you
Uh,
want to choose.
hmm. I don't know, because like I said, we've kind of just done our own thing as much as we could.
Yeah.
Um, mm, Well, I guess there's some things where it's like our one album, like the first one we did with Dan, where we kind of really started actually doing stuff. There's some good and there's some bad on it, but we went to this guy, like we looked up
Oh
local
yeah.
studios and we were
Yeah.
trying to find like just something kind of cheap, and we found this one dude who did it. We did it like 3 days, uh, and it was just like we there's some bad choices on that album. Like he was just like, why don't we just play it live? Like you just all play it at the same time or record you. We're like, we thought you do it like all the drums, then you do all the bass, and she's like, no, we'll do this. We did that. We did like one take on certain vocals. It was just like and then he mixed it really quick. I think he was trying to get on vacation, like go on vacation
Oh
soon. So he
my
was just trying to
god.
like wrap it up. And there's some stuff on that album sounds pretty bad. But so maybe like advice, like maybe I'd give myself like advice about specific stuff, like hey, don't go to that guy, or like or like hey, the very not that anyone's gonna hear it, but like maybe you and Zach should make sure you tune your guitars on the very first thing you record, like stupid stuff like that. Like maybe, or but even stuff now, like we just finished recording our new album, um, and like every time we've recorded, we've learned something new. And same with like playing shows. Like every time we play a show, you learn like, oh, maybe we should play this song or cut out that song, or like setup should be like this. Like you kind of just learn it as you go.
Yeah.
So maybe like specifics like that like maybe bridge the gap a little sooner. It's like, hey, like when you play a show, set up like this. It'll be quicker, it'll be easier, or something like that, right? Or when you record, set up the mics like this, like something we'd had to like learn along the way. So
Mhm.
maybe something like that. A little more on the bigger end. Even though it's something I kind of try to stick to anyway, is like just kind of like stick to just do what you want to do. Like don't give a don't care if you're not like making it, or because I think when I was younger, I cared a little more about that. Like I'd love to do this full time just because I love it so much. Um, but like I just like just do it for fun. Like just enjoy it the whole time. Sounds cheesy, but like I think that's probably the best advice. Like I'd give myself or any musician, just like get it. If you don't like doing it, like don't do it. So it's like just make sure all of it's as fun as possible. Yeah.
Is the first album on Bandcamp?
The very first one?
Yeah.
No, I have
Where
it.
where is it? We want to
I
hear.
have copies of it.
Is
Like
that the
me and
is that Stick Figures with Guns or is that a
yeah,
different one?
yeah, that's the first one. So it's awful. Me and Zach, we made our own CDs. Actually, we made our own CDs up to like we've always made our own CDs, kind of, for the most part. But we recorded it. This is where we're very DIY. No one can take our punk credibility away after this. Me and Zach, it was just me and Zach, um, and we wanted to record stuff. And actually, I think Dan and like another friend of ours was technically in the band as well. And then they kind of like fell out of it. They're like, I don't know if we're gonna do it anymore.
Oh my
It was very
god.
short
I
lived.
sorry to interrupt. I forgot about the other band member for a second. Until you just said that, I completely forgot about.
Oh well, no, we've had different ones. So we had our buddy Myron
Yeah, but you know
like
who I'm
started with
talking
us.
about.
Oh, Trent, yeah, we
Yeah.
love Trent. No, we love
I
we still talk
completely
to Trent.
forgot about
Yeah,
Trent.
Trent was with us for a bit. Trent
Sorry,
Trent never
Trent.
recorded. Trent never recorded with us.
Ooh. I saw him
Um,
live though.
he did play with us live for a bit. Yeah, shout out
Oh
to Trent.
yeah.
Uh, got out while he could. Smart move. No, but so first album, like me and Zach it got to the point where it was just us, and we had a bunch of songs, and we're like, I just want to record this. And we this was a lot of the process, even up to now, like in how we record stuff and mix and master. It's just like, how do we do this? Like, how can we record this? So we looked it up. We bought like a box, like a mixing box that you could use. We bought like a little cheap program or got a free one or something, and like we just figured it out. And we just did by any means necessary. So we did that, and like we had all these songs. We recorded through my laptops. It had has a built-in mic, like any laptop would.
Jesus.
That's what we used. And then we for drums, I'll do one better. For drums,
Garage
we didn't have
band.
drums, but I was like, I guess I'll just play the drums because on Rock Band, the video game Rock Band. Like I got to play and like I could play expert level. Like I got pretty okay at it, right? So I had these ideas for what the drums should sound like from just listening to music all the time. So what we did is on Rock Band, there's something like there's a freestyle mode or some shit like that. So you can just like play it, whatever. So we held the laptop or put the laptop up to the TV, like where the speaker was, and I played the drums from memory. Like no
Holy
click
shit.
track, no like guitar, no like a scratch guitar to play along with it. I just did it from how I knew the song went. And then we played guitar over that, which is fucking insane. So very DIY first album. And honestly, dude, honestly, it came out way better than you'd think it would.
I gotta
For
hear
sure.
this shit.
It's honestly like it came out way better than you'd think. Like I don't mean to toot my own horn, but like for a shitty of a way we did it, not bad.
I really gotta hear that now. I've
Yeah.
never heard that before. Holy shit. I feel like that's the most DIY you could ever get.
very punk rock. No,
No, it'd be
but
like spoons or something, like
yeah,
washboards and stuff.
yeah, exactly. But it's cool because it's like it's in a weird way. That's like kind of still how obviously not the exact same way, but we kind of still do that the same way now, where it's like
Dan
we've
literally
gotten to a
just
point.
plays on
No, 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 no. We've just gotten to a point where we like know how to do stuff, but if we don't know something, we look it up and we figure it out, and we're just like, I think this will work, or I think we should try this, or you know what I mean? Like, um, so like we recorded our whole last album, whole last two albums, like in my basement, and just figured out how to do it ourselves, like buying what gear to buy and how to set it up and how to record it, and uh, it's cool. You can almost feel yourself. That's why it's cool how to have you like you feel yourself getting better. It's
Mhm.
like I've played guitar like 10 plus years now. Like you think it's like oh how can you're just kind of at the point you're going to be at, but like even from the last album to this one, like we made different decisions that like made it easier or smoother or smarter. So like it's just cool to like see yourself progress in a way or learn in a way. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
That kind of set the blueprint. That rock band drum, laptop microphone start.
Um, so
So
you
stupid.
touched on it a little bit, but this is the last bigger question. What advice would you give to someone who's looking to get into music, um, but is afraid to for whatever reason, or someone who's
Don't
just starting
bother. More room for us.
out?
Um,
No
no,
competition.
I'd say like same thing I said to me. Like just like I think first and foremost it should just be like what you want to do, right? Like don't do something because someone else is doing it. Like be inspired for sure. Um, but just play how you want to play, write the music you want to write, what you think sounds cool, make it, right? Like that's the coolest thing. And like don't I mean it's like I said, it's kind of cliche, cheesy, but like don't worry about success or popularity, right? Like if no one hears you, you should still do it. It's still fun. You know what I mean? Like one of the best times I have are just like me, Zach, and Dan hanging out, playing music together, like enjoying it. So yeah, definitely do that. Also, this comes to mind. There's a band I like that is the Descendants.
Yeah.
Can't talk. And there's a video where their drummer Bill Stevenson is a really cool guy. For like these pop punk legends. Um, like the drummer Bill Stevenson, it was asked the same question, like what advice would you give to new musicians? And his advice was like, uh, get another job, like a full time job, just like so you have something in the pocket and you don't have to worry about bills or money or anything. And then it's just pure joy. Like you're just doing it for the fun of it, and it's just all enjoyment. And I'm like, that's pretty cool. Like that's a pretty cool idea. Yeah, I'd say it's that, right? Just like do what you want to do. Make sure it's fun. Make sure you're having a good time.
So,
Don't worry
um,
about missing some notes.
as of recording this, what what music do you have out? When's the new album coming out? Where can people listen to the albums? All that shit.
So right now we have the first single out technically, called I Don't Know.
Roger is on the
Roger the
cover.
dog is the cover of it.
He slaps.
Um, I think actually though by the time you put this up, you're not gonna like put it up today, right? Like
No, it'll be the earliest next week, the
oh,
latest
album will
the
be
worst.
out. So the album is out as of
Oh, baby.
because right now, so we use a site called DistroKid. It's
Yeah,
called, and it just like puts all your stuff on all the streaming make like major streaming sites, so like Spotify, Apple Music, Amazon, um, like iTunes, like all that stuff.
yeah.
We have a Bandcamp we do too that we'll put it up ourselves on there. But so what I did is I've actually just yesterday I uploaded it all, and it just takes a couple days to process. So I don't actually know the exact day it's gonna go live or whatever. But by the time this podcast is out, it will be out. The new album's called The Getting There. Um, 13 rockin' hits of
I'm gonna
music.
I'm gonna look it up on Spotify, see if it's out yet.
I don't think I keep checking. I don't think it's there yet.
The Kings of Nothing. It's
It'll
not
probably
out.
be tomorrow. I think that single took like 3 days, 2 days. So it'll probably take another day or so.
You got 30 monthly listeners.
What?
You're doing
It's just
better than
Zach, and Dan each have 10 burner
you're
accounts.
doing better than Forts currently. Forts only has 9 for some reason, which
Don't tell
doesn't
Matt.
make sense.
Don't tell Matt.
Hey Matt, if you're listening. Um
Wait, monthly?
yeah.
So because
So
we just put the song out, so 30 people probably listen to it.
That's what it says, dude. I don't know.
I'm into it. I'm into it. But yeah, so it'll be probably in like a day or two from when we're
Hell
talking, but it'll
yeah.
be out by the time people hear this.
All
The
right.
getting there.
They're getting there.
Yeah.
What's the cover? What's the
You want to
album
see it
art?
on this?
Oh,
It'll be
sure.
out.
Is it that house or is it that
Yeah,
just as
yeah,
Oh, it
it's
is
the
that
house.
one.
It's this house my last job, I would drive to work past this, like, it was literally like, like houses, just woods, whatever. And then it just like opened up into this huge field, like on a hill, and this one abandoned house was on it, and that was it. It was weird. It was like really cool looking. Sometimes it'd be like foggy and creepy in the morning. Um, but as of now, it's torn down.
Oh.
So I got the picture before they tore it down.
Now I
It's pretty
definitely
cool.
have to paint it.
Yeah, this is the cover. I don't know if you'll be
Oh,
able to
it's not
see.
gonna
I'm
be
not.
there. Oh, Jesus.
Uh,
That's
yeah.
creepy as hell. Did you climb up the mountain to take that picture?
I actually probably shouldn't say this, but I took this while driving my car.
Oh my God. I'll
It's
bleep
not a
that
mountain.
out.
It's right near the road. Like this is
Yeah.
from the road, but it's that's why the grass is kind of blurry. It's cool. Yeah, they're getting there.
All right, sick. So we're just about at an hour. Is there any last remarks you want to make? Any last pieces of advice? Anything you want to say before we sign off for this episode?
You're
Get
gonna
bent.
ask us
Let me know.
about the album. Are you gonna ask the album us about the album itself, like
We'll
during the full group one, or should I answer anything about that now? Do you have any questions about that?
no, I'll wait till I listen to everything. I'll
Mm.
give my live review on the podcast. The whole thing
We're
will
just like
just yeah.
waiting for you to.
Yeah, one song at a time.
Um, yeah. I don't know. There's nothing you need me to explain now? The cover or the name or something?
No, we'll go into all of that with the group.
Cool. Last remarks. Uh, don't listen to TKON. Not worth your time. Uh, go make music instead. There you
let's
go.
let's get TKON up to 35 monthly listeners.
Yeah, give us those 5 more.
five five more people. We'll probably get about 10 listens on this episode. Half of you just go listen to one song. There you go. 35 listens.
Oh, I got one
All right.
because we're not at school anymore to do easy like ready-made house shows. Um, hit us up. We'll come play.
Would
We'll play house parties for snacks.
would you play
So,
would you play a house party for a college house now, even though you're like 5, 6, 7 years older than the kids there?
would be a little weird, but yeah, I'd probably do that. I mean, like, we're not that much older than college kids now. You know what I mean? It's not like
Yeah.
we're like
We're
40.
in grad school.
Yeah, it'd be weird that we'd be older than everyone, but I think that'd still be fun.
Yeah.
As
I
long
was
as they
just
weren't
thinking about
freshmen.
I
No,
was thinking about that because my friend is going to Albany, and I'm like, what if I went to
I am.
visit? Would I go to a house party? I feel like I'd feel kind of weird doing that. I don't know.
I mean, I feel like we've had times when like friends had siblings that were
Yeah.
older, and they were just like there hanging. Like, I mean, I don't think we seem that older, like yet. You
Yeah.
know what I mean?
Don't tell
So
anyone unless they ask.
yeah, and if they do, we're 21.
21.
Drinking's weird.
At
No,
least 21.
Jesus Christ.
All right.
Yeah.
Before we
No,
keep
yeah.
going off on tangents, thanks for listening to this first episode of 1 month of TCon. Look forward
Oh,
to to three, yeah, 1 full month of TCon.
brutal.
Look forward to 3 more episodes. Next will be Dan the Man Grogan, then Zach Hudson from Home, then the whole band. We got a month full of content coming at you guys. Get ready. Thanks for listening to this one. Brandon, thanks for coming on for
Check
a
out the album.
probably fifth time.
Anywhere you. Yeah, yeah, no problem, man. Thanks
Yeah,
for
just
having me.
don't look up the
Anytime you
Swedish
want.
band The Kings of Nothing. Don't look them up. Look up The Kings of
Oh,
Nothing.
yeah. Oh, yeah, yeah. I've had friends send me that. There's another band, or was another band I found out like years after we started called Kings of Nuttin, like Nuthin apostrophe. They don't have a the, they have a misspelled word at the end. We're the kings of nothing.
I'll post a
Also,
picture of the logo too. Theirs is like the skull with a crown on. That's the
yeah,
Kings
our
of
friend
Nothing.
drew it.
That's
I
the legend.
actually, we're probably going on and on. I can tell you where I got the name too, if you want,
No,
but that's probably too much.
that's a band. That's a band question.
All right,
I'll
fine.
write those questions down because you've come up with like 3 that I should ask. You're helping me
Okay,
prepare already
yes. Listen to our album. If you want us to play a show, we'll do it
for snacks.
for snacks.
All right.
Hit us up. All social media, all all listening streaming services. Come, go for it.
All right. Thanks again, everybody. Peace out and good luck.